welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions coverage of Survivor 49 and another great merge episode. Before we get to that, as always, it is me, Coach Drew, coming from a hotel room in New York City, but I still have stuff in my bed as per usual. We have Jake to my right, and we've got Vee to my left. And yeah, if we're getting right into it, we can kind of start at the end and then work our way around because
pretty much
that was, I won't say it's the greatest tribal council of the season, but it definitely was a one that I have watched a few times now. It was okay. Because Juwan does say Rizzo played the real thing. Do you think that Rizzo did it because, and we're probably going to talk about this more than once, do you think Rizzo played it, that fake one just to like potentially say, hey, see, I was lying about it the entire time, or not?
Yes.
Right.
Why?
I think that he is just trying everything he can. I think that if he's like, if there's a chance that I can like now convince them it's gone, I don't have it anymore, then maybe they'll be less, he'll be able to catch them off guard, you know? And I think that I don't think it's going to work because, there were multiple like witnesses that were like, we saw him with the actual like paper. Like we know it's real. We know he had the real one. That was the fake. And it was actually funny because I was just about to say to my fiance as we were watching, I'm like, man, don't the idols look terrible now? Like they look so dinky. And then he says, this is not. And I'm like, I'm still pretty sure they don't look very good, but that makes more sense.
I bought it. I was like, oh, well, I remember the idol being at least a little bit bigger than that. But
yeah, it was like 3 beads. I was like, what?
Yeah. And so the reason I asked that is because Juwan immediately says play the real thing, that I'm like, okay, is anyone buy this? Because it didn't, like, I know Juwan's got voted out, but like, if Juwan's not buying it, it's more than likely no one else is either, right, Vee?
Well, see, I didn't consider that option, and now I'm trying to think back to who would have been there when he actually found it. I know it was a whole Kumbaya tribe thing.
I know for a fact that Juwan was there. I know for a fact Juwan was there. I can literally see the image, the scene in my head, but I don't remember if anyone else was there. But he was like, I feel like I also remember a scene of him like showing the paper to like Sage and Savannah. Savannah makes sense because it's like that's his closest ally. Like even if he's lying, like she would know if he was lying anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But Sage, I feel like also at least like saw the paper, but Juwan was there. I know it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess Rizzo maybe bargained that thinking Juwan was leaving. Savannah, he wouldn't be in the know anyway. So it would be Sage. And yeah, maybe he can pull the wool over Christina, Sophie, and Steven's eyes.
Both Sophie's because, I know that he's working with Soph and Sophie at this point, but once you whittle down, like people are going to have to turn on each other. So
I don't know.
Yeah. And
I said, I don't think it's going to work, but it's crazy that he's even doing this.
Well, we start off the episode with storyline being, okay, Christina's idol versus Steven's game. Which one are we going to get rid of next? Spoilers, neither. But a lot of these first few segments focuses a lot on who do we go after between the two, and then obviously Savannah's name gets brought up again of, hey, if she doesn't win immunity, she kind of has to go. This is very similar to a lot of people that have won the game throughout the years, where the entire storyline is, hey, we should probably do something about this, and then nothing ever happens. But we'll see. Christina's feeling it, though. Christina's feeling it hard in this episode. And I know the I hate emotions people will look at this episode and roll their eyes, but we do learn a lot about her backstory. Do I think that they showed a lot, yes, but we don't get much Christina content anyway, so we might as well get this. So what do you guys think about Christina in this episode in particular, especially, with everything dealing with her mom and potentially wanting to not want to be there anymore?
Well, yeah, I think to ignore my 7-year-old if that's coming across. I thought that was really lovely, actually, because, look, you know me, I don't like the friends and family letters and stuff like that. I always roll my eyes at like a 15-minute segment about that. It's like, oh, whatever. Stuff like this that sort of just comes up of like someone just hitting their breaking point in this game. I think it's always really interesting to see those sort of bursts of emotion, because it sort of rounds out the game from being like people playing board games on a Sunday afternoon to it actually being this fully immersive, exhausting sort of situation. And so I thought it was an interesting insight. It's weird to say I quite liked it. But like, I thought it was, I thought it was interesting to see. And I'm glad that they included it, because I just think it just rounds out this game, shows us the whole facet of it.
Yeah, I also like how we're seeing such like a dichotomy of like Rizzo just like having the time of his life out there. I know that he like also kind of breaks down at some point a little bit, but you just see like how much fun he's having out there. And then you see like Christina, who's like just failing over and over and over again, whether it be, in challenges or just in the votes, and just seeing how much that can wear on you when you don't have anyone out there that for certain, like, I can trust this person, I can like confide in them, I can, break down in front of them. Like, I think it is kind of maybe not under talked about, because they talk about it on the show and I'm sure people agree, but like just the vulnerability to like break down in front of like completely random strangers out there. Like, I couldn't do that. Like, I have trouble, like sometimes doing that with people that I, love. And it's just, I just know, like, putting myself in in her shoes, like, not only knowing like I'm away from home, but also like this person that like I feel like I need right now is gone, like, period. And it was really touching, like just getting to see how much the game can wear on you, and then also seeing like Savannah and Rizzo just like having fun, like just like Savannah's literally just like messing with people out there, like trying to get in their head. And so it's crazy to see like both sides of it.
Yeah, and I will say that Rizzo does have a brief moment in confessional, at least, of him going through, and I guess he does have it in front of people as well, but we don't, like, it doesn't linger too much. But he does say, I'm feeling it. I haven't eaten anything. I think it was after the reward challenge, which we'll get to. But yeah, it's sometimes I think that like Vee said, if it comes naturally, and in that situation, I did feel like it was brought up because of everything that happened at the end of last episode. And Christina has been swinging up Schitt's Creek without a paddle for a bit now, and she feels isolated. And I think that, Steven is by default her rock. And now, especially with Juwan gone, like, it's just, now it actually is just her and Steven. Like, there is nobody else. But on the other end of things, Savannah's name in my notes say, hey, look, Savannah's name is out again. Let's see, at least she dodges this bullet this time. Which she dodges it. This is as close as she's dodged a bullet so far. Yeah, I know you brought up her just kind of messing with Juwan for a bit. We're going to get to the Christina one because that was a fun and weird moment. When Savannah's name comes up in this episode, I feel like this is a running gag at this point. Did you guys actually think that it might actually happen this time?
No, because of her extra vote. I thought at the very least that was better.
I just felt like the numbers weren't going to line up. I mean, they have 3. They have, and I had a feeling that Sophie was going to join in with them. So it's like, okay, that's 4. Yeah, extra vote. So boom. Doesn't really matter what happens. Unless I was like, and plus I already predicted that Soph was going to steal Christina's idol, which didn't happen.
No, that didn't happen.
I was wrong. Very sad to see that I was wrong. But like you said, Drew, we still did get a really good tribal. But yeah, I didn't think that Savannah was actually in danger.
Yeah, I think that as much as I continue to say it'd be really nice if one of them went home just because it would add some suspense to what happens the rest of the game. This was not one of those episodes where I thought, oh yeah, this is actually going to happen this time. At no point during even after she loses immunity, and they do that weird focus on her for like longer than they usually do, to say, hey, yeah, it might happen this time. It's like, no, it's not. It's not going to happen this time. And I think, once again, it's just a testament to the player, but I do think we're starting to get more of these moments that I feel like all 3 of us have talked about, but specifically you two, of like how the perception of her is going to be in the jury, because her and Christina moment, like I said, we're just going to go all over the place. The her and Christina moment where she just straight up says, who are you voting for? And Christina's so taken aback that she actually needs to say, hey, let me go off for a second because I don't like the way you just did that. Which I felt was real, because if you copy someone a certain way, you don't want to swing on someone. What do you guys think? Because that's not the first time Savannah has done something like that this season. It's fine. Like she's not like stepping over like any weird boundaries, but it was still like, wow, she's just blunt.
Well, it's sort of like, it's interesting. You look at Savannah's face and you just see pure exhaustion and almost madness of like, tell me who you're voting for. And like and I'm like, I don't think she's okay. Like, I think she's got jungle madness or whatever.
It's funny. I saw I was scrolling, I think it was either Twitter or Instagram, and I saw on, might have been Rob Has a Podcast. It was Sam from 47, if you guys remember him. He's also a reporter like Savannah, and he talked about how he's like, yeah, that's a reporter tactic of like, you go up to like, especially for Sam, he's like, he works in sports. So like, he'll go up to a football player and be like, do you think you're getting traded? Or like, do you think they're going to re-sign you next season? And sometimes they'll catch them so off guard that they'll just answer truthfully. Oh. They'll just say it. And like, that's absolutely, he's like, I know for a fact, like she is doing that. And it like basically worked, even though Christina was kind of offended by it. Like clearly if you need to step away and take a second, like her answer is not what Savannah wanted to hear. The truth was not what Savannah was hoping to hear, right? She's going to vote for Savannah or someone else. Like
an ally,
yeah. Like that's what the purpose of doing that was. She got what she wanted. I thought that was really cool. Like hearing from Sam, like being like, oh, I know what that is.
It's very similar. And I just learned recently that this is a thing where like people, if you start handing people things, they will just take it like, and they'll just keep on like, if you just hand, this is an but like if you hand people stuff, they'll just take it. And it's like, and I've fallen victim to it a lot, especially lately. And I don't know why. Like I have to like actually like focus now. Of like, okay, if someone tries to hand you something, does that mean you actually have to take it? But I feel like it's very similar to that of like, hey, if you just say something, almost immediately they'll say something back. And it also reminds me of the Hannah Zeke moment from Millennials vs. Gen X, where Zeke's like, "Hey, like, what's up?" And Hannah's like looking up in the sky like this, just it's like, "Oh, yeah, that's probably a telltale sign that something's up." Jake, I think I cut you off, and I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just saying, like crazy that like she is just like no care of like people being offended by this or whatever, like clearly like Christine, and this is another kind of moment where it's like people are just kind of put off by Savannah. Like, and I think that it's funny because like I still agree that like I think she is absolutely number one in like who's most likely to win, even with this. And I think it's partially because I feel like I agree with you guys that they're holding back on these scenes. I feel like there's even more content of people saying like, yeah, I just don't like her, or like I am put off by her. I think she's a mean girl. I think she's, annoying or whatever. And probably people think that of Rizzo too. But we've seen multiple times of just like, I can't remember the last episode where we didn't get at least one scene of somebody being like, Savannah's mean, or I don't like what just happened with her, So that's interesting. And still, in spite of that, I feel like she's probably the most likely winner because Rizzo, I just feel like it's just going to get taken out at some point. People like him just don't usually win, right?
Yeah, but like at this point, and we've talked about this a lot over the last couple of weeks. If we all agree that the three of them are probably like tight, how? I mean, I guess Idols went out of the game, so maybe they'll put a new one in. So something like that, maybe. But like, unless one of the two of them flip on him, I feel like Sage and Savannah are on a crash course or something. I feel like both the Sophies and whatever, they have their ulterior motives that I feel like both involve Rizzo and Savannah. Christina is what she's doing right now, and then Steven is always going to be the name that everyone kind of brings up. How do we flip this onto Rizzo at this point when it kind of looks like no one is paying attention? Like everyone outwardly pays attention to him. Do I want to spoil it? No, absolutely not.
No, but did you watch the trailer for next week?
I did actually watch it this week. I did watch it this week.
So looks sort of like she might flip. But it's not a spoiler. It's literally the trailer. But
I thought you were going to say, "Oh yeah, this person wins." I'm like, no, what did you?
No, I know the winner of the whole thing. No, that would drive me crazy. No, I don't. I just know the trailer for next week.
I think that because him and Savannah's names are always like so out there, that it's never going to be them.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point, and kind of contradicting of what I just said. Of like, I feel like he's going to get taken out at some point. They're down to 7. You only got 2 more chances or 3 if you flush his idol. Because if you let him get to 5 with an idol, boom, he's in the final 4. So when or how is that going to happen? Right? I don't feel like it's going to happen next week unless Soph actually flips. I don't feel like it's going to happen at 6 unless Soph actually flips. Like Sophie, I can imagine absolutely flipping. I mean, she has no like true loyalties to them, right? She's just using Savannah basically as a shield, a challenge shield, a meat shield. Is this the first woman meat shield? Maybe not. I feel like there's probably been some in the past.
Oh, I mean, there's been plenty. Oh, well, there's been plenty. I would say returnee seasons are usually the because of optics.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think this is going to be very interesting. The last 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, probably 3 weeks, right? So we already talked about.
Can I say my hopes for next week's episode? What I think would make an excellent episode and is alluded to in the trailer. Sophie flips, takes Rizzo's idol, Soph flips, takes Rizzo's idol. Sophie, then she's got the numbers in Sophie. If they're going for Rizzo and Sophie has a plan, she'll get everyone together. I think it could be Rizzo's turn to be completely blindsided and have his idol stolen. It would just be chef's kiss.
And that would be such an epic way to get voted out that once again, that would just be another reason that they would have him back for 50, allegedly. If he were to go out in that manner, or if Savannah went out in that manner, it would be like, okay, that was badass. And also you have done really well up to this point in the season. You've been one of the main characters. We're playing another game in a couple weeks. You want to come back? I wouldn't hate that at all. I wouldn't because
I think Soph could win off of that.
I think either of the Soph could win right now. I think either of the Soph, which is crazy to say that for Sophie because she was invisible for half of the season. But like she's really like come along in the edit these last few weeks. And she had a winner quote in this episode, make nice when you're a millionaire back home, which is like such a perfect, it's such a perfect quote that if she were to win, it'd be like, oh yeah, obviously she won because she said that in episode whatever. We had the reward challenge. Sophie, Sage, and Steven all went. I hate these last names. And afterwards, we get 3 boys on a bench. And in parentheses, I just put, I'm out. I'm out on 3 boys on a bench. But this was a fun segment despite that. Like, it was a fun segment. It wasn't my cup of tea, but it was fine.
It's cute off the cuff moment. I took that moment to, I can't remember what I did, but I think I rearranged something on my spreadsheet or something. I was just like, oh, cute. We also got more death in the fishing scene as well. So every episode, some animal has to die. Yeah. But I also thought it was
chickens this time. Yeah, it was
chickens this time, but tiny little fish.
Juan got to catch something, do something before he got taken out, at least.
Yeah. I'm really sad to see Joanne go, by the way. I'm just going to cut in there because I loved his face during Tribals. It was always like, just again,
it was like
staring.
It was like a very interesting mix between like intense, but also like not serious, like unserious, but also like actually like he is like really intense and trying to like figure out what's going on, but also like there's just an unserious vibe to it. I will miss Juwan. I think that this vote out was deserved. After last week, I felt like it wasn't the right move. What he and Sage did last week, so I felt like this was probably deserved. His flip flopping kind of got back to him, but yeah, a little sad to see him go.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about Juwan, other things that happened with Juwan at Tribal because it was hilarious. But we're going to talk about another Juwan moment now. Anyway, going to the immunity challenge of him trying to negotiate, and Jeff's being like, no. And also, no, you're actually not going to negotiate. Like, I think there was a lot cut there because they're like, hey, can we negotiate? And he's like, yeah, you can negotiate. And Juwan tries to negotiate again. Jeff says, oh, no, they say, shut up, like, let him rebut. And then Jeff just goes, it kind of just seems like you guys don't want to do this. And, like, that's not at all what
Juwan looked like he might take it.
So I feel like there was a lot cut there, or at least something cut there, because Jeff just kind of glances over that, and it's like, okay, it seems like you guys are taking this seriously. You don't want food. It's like, that's not the way I saw it. And also, it doesn't matter because Juwan's gone now. But Sophie wins immunity. It was tight between her and Steven, I want to say. And we get back to camp, and it's Savannah's name again. And once again, at no point did I actually think it was actually going to be Savannah. What I didn't expect was for Sophie to be the one that kind of gets the ball rolling with, hey, let's get rid of the flippers. What do you guys think about that?
Was it Sophie or was it
Because Sophie is one immunity, right?
Yeah.
Sophie wins immunity, right? So Sophie goes to who did she go to? She goes to someone and says, hey, how about we do this instead? Because like Sage or Jawan, because am I making this up? Does this happen? This happened, right?
I feel like
it was someone else I want to say it was Rizzo who said, like, the plan was Steven, and then it was Rizzo who said, wait, why don't we take out Jawan or Sage?
Because everyone else is trying to save Savannah. So,
yeah, Sophie definitely, like, she was the one to get the ball rolling of, like, yo, Savannah, they're coming for you. Like,
okay, maybe that was it. Yeah, maybe it was. Yeah, I'm trying to say Savannah, not ball rolling on trying to get rid of one of them. Just, hey, Savannah, they're coming for you.
Yeah. Because something interesting I found about it was that it was very last second where it was like, wait, let's switch it to Jawan. And I was sitting there like, oh, interesting. I thought for sure it was going to be Steven, because they kind of say, like, you know, since Sophie came to us and, like, gave us this information, like, let's pay it back and, like, kind of let her choose who goes. And it kind of sounded like she wanted Steven, because Steven is not with her, and also is really good at these challenges. Like you said, he was neck and neck with her at the end. So I was like, oh, cool, they're going to let her take out Steven. But then they made the switch to, no, let's do Jawan or Sage. Who of those two would you rather it be? And Savannah said, I want Sage. Sophie said, I want Jawan. And they went with Jawan. So I thought that was smart, by the way, to give her the choice, because you gotta pay it back when somebody lets you know that they're coming for you. Even though she probably assumed they were anyways. But no, maybe she didn't know that Jawan and Sage were, like, 100% like gonna vote for her.
Well, I feel like the Jawan's name, it wasn't really hammered on about. It was kind of the offhand comment, because going into Tribal, I thought it was going to be Steven or Sage. And then Jawan comes out. I'm like, oh, they must have talked about that more than I thought. So I feel like that was a little bit hidden in the edit, that they were taking the Jawan vote that seriously to actually enact it. So that took me by surprise a little bit, but I figured that, you know, you sort of have the two camps, and it's whoever in that camp and whoever in that camp. And so I sort of just have two lines of who's voting for who. Really.
There was a funny moment, like that, where Sage goes, I have this gut feeling that Christina has an idol. I'm like, oh, a gut feeling, huh? It has nothing to do with anything that actually happens, but I think I laughed when I initially saw it. It's like, okay. Sage is so fun. Like, Sage is such a fun character. We have so many fun characters left in the game, and it boggles my mind. And once again, it's the groupthink of everyone feels like they have to hate the new era. That means they're obligated to hate this season, even though this season has been good for, like, at least 5 weeks, and in some people's cases maybe longer. But, like, this has been a fun ride, and it's just, there's too much crying. It's like that. The crying happened this episode, and it was warranted. Yes. And if you actually think, and this is weird tangent, if you actually think that this has never been a thing on Survivor, you clearly have not watched any seasons of Survivor before season 40.
Season 1, they focused so much time. Season 1, they focused, like, so much time on, like, the emotion of Jenna. They forget to send her they forget to send in the tape. They forget to send in the video, so she didn't get anything. She was the only one who didn't get a video from home. That was a huge thing. Also, I could be misremembering. I feel like 41 and 42 had, like, way more sob stories in it. And, like, some of them were as like as dumb. I'm sorry. As like, if you remember him, I think his name was JD. He was like, yeah.
Oh, JD, yeah.
He was like, yeah.
Was
some kids thought I was a nerd. And then he's like, then I come to find out like he was like prom king at his high school. It's like, wow, geez, what a sad story your life was, whatever. Like they were just like filling anything with anything. So I feel like if that's your criticism now, like where have you been? You know?
Where have you been? Ugh. Anyway, we get to Tribal, and I think at this point, I don't think it's Juwan. I think it's probably going to be Steven or Sage. Like I don't think it's going to be Juwan. And once again, I don't think it's going to be Juwan because of the optics, which I will just leave it at that. But because of the optics, I'm like, no, there's no way. But Juwan puts on a great performance here, where he goes from Savannah asking him, hey, are you doing this? And he was like, no, I'm not doing it. I think by the time the third Savannah pops up, like, are you sure you're not doing this? Yeah, I am doing it. Then, I'm like, because I think it goes 3-3, and then the other votes happen. And even then, it's like, okay, if one more Savannah pops up, then yeah, it's probably GG's. But I don't see that happening, and I think Juwan's going home. And he does it in great fashion. You know, raise your hand if you voted for me. Rizzo, you know, I won't say the actual phrase that I use. I'll use that off the air. But he was wagging something, metaphorically wagging something, with all the stuff that hey, Jeff, can I give a speech? Hey, Juwan, like, it was fun, man. I gotta get my lick back, and this, that, and the other, and yeah, he took my torch. Like, he's doing a lot, and I understand why he's doing it. I get it, but you know, it was Juwan's moment. What do you guys think about that?
Classic Juwan taking the wrong torch. Classic.
By the way, can I just say Tribal was so interesting, I think specifically because of Rizzo, because he's literally saying this is all an act. Like, it kind of ties into what we were saying last week, where we were talking about like how boring tribals have become because nobody's actually saying what they're talking about. And Rizzo like kind of spells that out of like, this is all an act. Like, we're trying to, and that's where like the job of us is like, us being like, I'm talking for him. He's like, our job is to differentiate whether what they're saying is an act or it's actually like a show of like reassurance of like, hey guys, like I'm saying this to like reassure you guys I'm voting with you, you know. And I'm just like, yeah, that sounds like torture. Like every little thing that you have to hear everyone say is like, is that just like trying to throw people off? Was that trying to throw me off? Was that, wait, that thing that he said there, was that reassuring me, or was that just trying to like trick me? Whatever. But he explicitly says it to Jeff, and Jeff is like I feel like Rizzo is, in hindsight now, is kind of interesting that he was chosen for 50, because I feel like he's kind of doing some things that Jeff would typically not be a fan of. Like with the rice, he didn't even entertain it. He's like, like this isn't even an option, you know? And then at Tribal, this isn't even real. Like, this is just a show. And I feel like I would expect Jeff to like really dislike that and be put off by that. And like probably like once the camera shut off, immediately like cuss him out and be like, don't you fucking, you know.
He doesn't call him Jeff or Uncle Jeff, so he just calls him Jeff. He has no respect for Jeff. No respect.
Yeah. He is now Uncle Jeff, please.
Yeah, he's only Uncle Jeff. God. And it's the oldest person there saying it. The oldest person left in the game is the one calling him more than anyone else. I think Christina's the oldest person left. Yeah, and she's the one
Might be
consistently
Steven,
calling
honestly.
him.
Is that an American thing? The Uncle Jeff thing? Like,
I have never called anyone uncle in my life.
No,
Okay.
like there's the unk, if you know what unk is,
Yeah.
but that's usually for like older black guys.
right.
Yeah,
it's like a joke. Like sometimes, like a teenager sometimes calls me unk because like I'm like 23, so it's like, haha, like you're old because you're like 10 years older than me, and it's like even though
Yeah.
I'm not, like, but yeah, calling
it's, like,
somebody
real.
uncle,
Yeah,
right,
Right.
Especially
yeah, but they're
Jeff.
actually like, but it's like them, Christina and Joanne saying it is like a form of endearment, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's weird, but I mean, as long as Christina's in the game, and I don't actually see Christina going home anytime soon, which means we won't get 5 in a row. I think we're gonna have to continue to hear Uncle Jay or Uncle Jeff, which sucks. But at least with Juwan gone, it's lessened because I think it's just the two of them that's been calling him that at this point, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
I want to talk about people's chances right now because we are getting down to the nitty gritty. I would say off the top of my head, there'd be one person that I don't think has a chance of winning. Obviously, that can change in the next couple of weeks. Are there more than for you? Is there more than one person, or is it kind of just one?
That
Honestly,
has no chance.
I don't think Christina has a chance. I don't think Sage does. I don't think she does. I think that, like, objectively, she's had a lot of power and say in what's happening, right? But I just don't see her like actually getting the votes. I don't know. Like that's just my vibe. I don't really have like that much evidence for why. That's just my feeling. In my head, I'm just like, I don't even really consider any sort of possibility of her winning. Same with Christina. That's pretty much it. I could see anyone else.
V?
I also want to say I loved that Jeff gave Christina the hero moment during the immunity challenge. I loved that because she was killing it, and Jeff just like calling it out, like yes, the reward challenge. Oh, that was dope. I love that. Love that so much. But no, I don't see Christina.
Having said that,
she has.
I just don't think she's. I don't see Sage. I agree with Sage. I don't see Sage winning. I don't see Christina winning. Steven maybe, but Steven hasn't really been pushing big moves except for winning idols and winning necklaces and stuff.
I was this close to saying Steven, but I also just feel like people like really perceive him as a smart guy. So like maybe he'll just kind of be able to like kind of just like almost bullshit his like way into like a final tribal council argument of like, hey, I was a smart player. People thought I was a smart player. Like that kind of like vibe. Like he kind of has like the vibe of a winner. So I feel like that just made it to the end.
What?
The Sage thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
I'll add Sage to my list, and the reason I'll say that is because of what you just said. Both of you guys have said, because it's a final 3. There are no iterations of anyone left in the game in a final 3 where I think Sage gets first. There's a lot where I see her getting second. There's none that I see her getting first. And I think with Steven, if you do Steven, Sage, Christina, Steven probably wins that. Now, Steven doesn't win a lot of variations of final 3s, but that is one situation where he does win. So I guess I'll put Sage on my list because I think that as of right now, from what we're seeing and how I'm perceiving it, her highest is second place compared to everybody else, and third, compared to everybody else. But for all we know, she gets rid of both Savannah and Rizzo back to back. Then it's like, oh my god, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
this
it
is
does
like it could change, but right now I just don't see it.
So I want to call Mucky Hope my favorite. So I think this is Mucky saying that US Survivor is his favorite. I think. I think
so,
we
right?
could interpret that.
Mucky, you might as well watch the season. It's really good. It started the merge.
Has he not been watching?
He's not been watching. He's on a
has he been
rampage
watching?
against Jeff Probst, and so he won't watch.
Oh, whatever.
No, I think that right now,
I know he does.
Right now, I think that we're on a crash. Oh, I mean, in the trailer, we get the crash course of Savannah versus Sage, which is what I've been begging for since Shannon got voted out. I just need another Sage versus rivalry, and like it's been kind of building up, and I think that it's finally going to come.
We need more Sage hugging somebody, and then
we kind of got that a little bit where they cut to her confessional, and she's like, or something. When Savannah's like, "We have Sage."
yes, that was like at the beginning of the episode. Yeah, that was good.
No, I
also
think Sage
did you notice that Steven wrote Shan and then crossed it out and then wrote Savannah? Apparently, he's been accidentally calling her Shannon, which is exactly what I've been doing, and I'm not even out there. He's the one out there playing the game, and he's mixing them up.
Yeah, there's so many S names. There are so
including like, Steven.
Yeah, Steven, Sage, Shannon, Sophie, Savannah. Nah, too many.
Yeah.
Cassie, get your names right by 51.
Throw it out, start again.
Any final thoughts on the episode? Once again, I feel like we've just been doing really well since the merge. Shannon, fuck. Savannah is still Savannah is still my winner pick. I don't know. Like, you guys are starting to get in my head about this whole, hey, people don't have really nice things. Like, yeah, they're still not showing all of it, but like, there's another situation where I could see Christina being on jury and being like, Savannah, you came at me weird. I can see, a lot of other people saying like, hey, you came at me weird, and see, and she's.
I think that this could be. I think that this is something I'm almost 100% certain that it's going to get brought up in Final Tribal. The question is whether it sinks her or she's able to respond to it and actually can like win them over. Like, because we saw the episode where she talks about the really like toxic situation she had at work where like people were like completely like ghosting her or like just like ignoring her, like literally pretending she didn't exist. And like that was supposed to like show like a softer side. I feel like she's gonna kind of use that at the end maybe and kind of be like, I know you guys think I'm mean, but I'm not. Like, that's just me playing the game, and maybe she'll apologize and say, I'm sorry for coming off that way, but really, like, I'm not a mean person. Like, I'm just really intense, and like whatever. So, but it could also just be like, you're mean, I don't like you, I'm not voting for you. Sorry, you played pretty well, but I just don't like you. I feel like it's gonna be one of those two things. Like, I'm almost certain of it. And like, I would be shocked if she doesn't make it to the end, honestly. And I think one of those two things is going to happen. She's going to lose because of that, or she's going to be able to overcome it somehow.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see Rizzo win because I think he could probably, I think he's made a lot more, a better impression than Savannah. If you've got both of them at the end, I see Rizzo winning over Savannah just because he's got a bit more of that nice guy persona. Having said that, I really do hope he gets blindsided next week because I think that would be a fabulous episode. And
Sophie stealing his idol would be crazy.
And then I think if Soph can enact that successfully, I see Soph winning and getting points, jury votes based on that. And as for this episode, I am always very sad to see an idol get played for no reason, and really the extra vote was played for no reason as well, because it would have been Joanne anyway.
Yeah, I guess so.
He had 2 extra votes. So because they brought Sophie over, which I wouldn't have been willing to bet on, but which Savannah clearly didn't. But she could have actually not done an extra vote and still have gotten Joanne out. So that's a bit sad for me that both of those sort of special things got played for no reason. So,
but we still have the knowledge is power,
and the idol.
Yeah, and the idol. So yeah. I mean, I will say that you guys. So my screen is black for some reason. I'm telling you guys what I'm seeing on my end. But as long as you guys can still see and hear me, we're good.
Yep.
Well, if we've got a little break, I just want to. Mucky's brought up a question for us. As someone who isn't watching 49, would you guys say that Savannah and Rizzo are good picks for 50 for new era representation? Or do you reckon other players in New Era would have been better choices?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think that they are the 2 main characters of this season.
Yeah.
Besides maybe like Sage and Soph. I think that they've been playing hard since day one. One is playing more to the camera than the other. I don't think you have to do one or the other. But one is clearly playing to the camera, and Rizzo. He came in with a moniker, and I do feel like I'm less surprised now that they are on it than I was at the beginning of the season. And obviously that's the point. Like, you're supposed to tell the story of the people that are going to be coming back. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it. I still wish that there were other people from the new era over some of the others that were getting back, but these 2 are not it. Like, these 2 are not people that I'd be upset about in hindsight.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah,
think maybe because it's just fresh in my mind, but I like them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, like, I mean, if we're going to talk about like bad new era picks, I think like Camilla from last season. I don't hate her, but I think that, like, you're going to choose 3 people from 48 and her being one of them. Like, sorry, like, I don't know. So no, I think that, like, I'm trying to think right now of like some new era players where it's like, oh shoot, if only they didn't pick Rizzo or Savannah and they could have chosen them instead. And I'm kind of struggling to find anyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I said, there are other people from other new era seasons that I would replace with other people, but Savannah and Rizzo are probably higher on my list than most of the other new era people that are on this season. Like, specifically, Jonathan is still at the very bottom, and he will probably always be at the very bottom. But that's because I don't like Jonathan. Well, I can't see the time, but this is a black screen. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we're at 49:05, so well done.
Okay.
Good internal clock.
We'll be back next week. I think next Thursday. So I'm flying.
Yeah, regular time, I think.
Yeah, I'm flying to Florida on Friday. So yeah, Thursday I will be at home.
Woo.
But
make sure you subscribe.
Yes. I don't know if it's on the screen. But...
and Instagram as well. Follow our Instagram and Spotify.
Wrap coming out, I think, next week. Hopefully next week.
Wow, already crazy.
Already, yeah. All right, yeah, and we will see you guys next week. So until then, stay tuned.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys.